Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's video, which is about using scent work or sniffing games to introduce fearful dogs to new places and to kind of change their behavior in new locations. If anyone is listening live right now, if you could let me know if you can hear me. I'm not on my regular mic today, so I just wanted to make sure that I'm speaking loudly enough. All right, onward. All right, so here's briefly what we'll talk about today. What is scent work? Why can it be particularly helpful for fearful dogs? And then I'll show you a few example videos of fearful dogs doing scent work in new locations as a way to kind of help them adjust. So first, just really briefly, what is scent work? A lot of you will already know about scent work, or nose work is another name it goes by. I think that might be trademarked, I'm not sure. At the most basic level, this involves the dog learning to search for things. Oops, sorry about that. The dog learning to search for things by scent. So food, possibly in class, or could be other types of items. Most of you, if you know someone who's doing scent work, there's a good chance that they're doing it recreationally or possibly doing some scent work competitions. But of course, there are also practical applications for sniffing out stuff if you think search and rescue dogs or drug sniffing dogs. Often, if you're doing a recreational scent work or even a beginning competition scent work class, the instructor will start out with the scent items or food in cardboard boxes. If you are, I'll have this link later too, but if you have a fearful dog and you'd like to get started with really basic scent work, we do have an online self-paced course designed specifically for fearful dogs. Okay, so why do this with fearful dogs? Well, sniffing is a great behavior. It's something that most of us find acceptable most of the time. And it is something that if the dog engages in kind of on their own, if you're not paying attention, there's a good chance that they will come into contact with some positive reinforcement in the environment, right? Because this is something dogs do all the time without us training them to do it. So building up more frequent sniffing type behavior in new locations could be reinforced even if you're not on the ball and you're not dispensing treats for it. It's pretty easy with scent work to incorporate triggers or any kind of either novel or problematic locations, objects, sounds. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the examples. And that allows you to pair either neutral stuff or potentially scary stuff with an activity the dog really loves. Now that's presuming your dog loves scent work, but it's pretty rare for students going through our class not for the dogs not to be pretty excited about a scent work game once they've learned how to do it. And this is a really nice feature of scent work if you have taught it using boxes or some other prop. Using a prop like cardboard boxes in scent work gives you this kind of built-in cue or prompt in the new location that can help you generalize the sniffing behavior to different locations. You have your boxes, you take them with you. It doesn't have to be boxes, it could be anything. All right, so let me show you just a few video examples. We've got Pancake learning just to venture out of his little pen he lived in when he first came to us. He was kind of afraid to even leave the pen, and we used scent work to encourage that. And then when we moved him, this is something that might be useful if you're moving to a new house. We use scent work in the new house to get him moving around a bit more and having some positive experiences. And we also used it to get him comfortable in the basement, which he couldn't get to on his own, or well, he could, but he had to come in from the outside, and he was kind of afraid to go into the basement. So We also use scent work in the basement because we needed him to be able to stay there. And then team dog Coco is going to show you some scent work in some outdoor locations that are new to her and that she's a little bit worried about. I noticed that before we got on today, a couple people mentioned that they've been using scent work. Someone said they do scent work games in the at the vet clinic in the waiting room, which is a great use of this. Oops, sorry about that. All right, let's just take a look at a few dogs sniffing things out. Okay, so just a little background for those of you who aren't familiar with Mr. Pancake. This, where you can kind of see the fencing here in the video, that enclosed that corner of the room, and that was where Pancake lived when he first came to us. And even a few months in, probably several months in, he wasn't super comfortable leaving the pen if I opened it. Even if I left the room, he would kind of stick his nose out, but he didn't really want to come out. And so we didn't start with the boxes where they are in this video. We started them closer. But once he learned that boxes mean treats, basically, boxes mean the sniffing game is on and you can search for treats, this is something we were able to use to encourage him to explore. So there he just came in his dog door from his little outdoor area. I had to set this up, so he was quite fearful at this time. I set it up when he wasn't in the room, and then I'd leave the room. Then when he came back, he would see the boxes. And you can see he's a little bit hesitant at first. But with a fearful dog like this, I will usually hide stuff in every box in the beginning. I want every attempt to find treats to be successful. He's also, by the way, manipulating objects, which for some fearful dogs is kind of a big deal. So that does mean that you might want to choose your objects carefully, but it can help sort of quote unquote confidence building, sort of get more variable behavior with novel objects. Here's an example when we moved him to the new house up in Tahoe, not new, but new to him, getting him to move out of his pen area. And then here's that basement I mentioned. And I incorporated some common and sort of comfortable objects like his hiking pack that he really liked. I had treats hidden in there. I had treats in the boxes. I brought down his activity bin, which is that laundry basket that has recycling and stuff and then treats hidden in it. So these behaviors, the sniffing and exploring, are quite a bit more desirable most of the time than, say, hiding, freezing up, barking and lunging, depending on what your dog does. Of course, if you are doing this, if you're starting to use scent work for kind of scary stuff for your dog, you will ideally be working with a professional trainer who can help break this down for you. Because it needs to be easy enough at each step of the training, just like any training we do with fearful dogs, that it's pretty easy for them. Okay, so here's Coco, one of our team dogs. She's generally anxious in new locations, like any new location. So here, Rachel videoed a few sort of repetitions of the sniffing game with the boxes outside of a grocery store. And you can see the first time Coco comes out, she's kind of distracted, looking around. What is this place? She does kind of look at the boxes, but doesn't go right to playing the game. After she got back to it and played it a bit, her next time out, she is much more sort of zoning in, or zooming in on the boxes and playing the game more readily. And here's just another example. So maybe a quieter location. If your dog is afraid of new outdoor locations in general, this kind of thing might work for you. This is like a big empty parking lot at a park. You go at a quiet time, and Coco right away this time is like, all right, we're playing this game. She wants to stop and look around. That's fine. Rachel lets her look, and then she gets back to the game. So just a couple of quick examples. Does anyone have questions about using scent work games for introducing new locations? In order to do this, remember, you will need a foundation. Your dog needs a foundation of scent work games and learning how to play these. just at home or wherever's easy for them. And so again, that link at the bottom of the slide, that's the link to read more about our self-paced beginning scent work class, which is designed for dogs who tend to be fearful of things. All right, folks, I hope this gave you a few ideas. On the slide, you just see our blog, where you'll find many more free videos, Instagram, our YouTube channel, where all of these videos go, and we have some other videos as well, all freely available, and then our Facebook group and page. All right, I will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.